empty atmosphere in here on Thursday night with that win over Arsenal. It was so nervous in here today. For the last 5 or 6 minutes, the Tottenham fans were willing the ball to be away from their goal. One Tottenham fan leaned across to us, myself, Paul Robinson and Rio Ferdinand, as we were watching and said, I've watched Spurs for 20 years. We're going to concede a goal with a couple of minutes to go. And his lack of confidence was misplaced. Under Antonio Conte, they're good at the back, and they needed to be today because Burnley, they tried so hard, they worked so hard, they came so close, hitting the post in the end. But it wasn't to be, and he knows for his team, it's a big step towards the top 4. Meanwhile, Mike Jackson, Ben Mee, his staff, and all those Burnley players can hold their heads up high as they leave here. But one look at the table and they'll be feeling anxious. So this is what it means then for the Premier League. And the Spurs fans packed in here will love to see that, and how they'll hope that's how it looks come the end of the season with one game to play. They are 2 points above Arsenal, having played a game more but with a better goal difference. We'll now see what Arsenal can do when they kick off on Monday night. Meanwhile, towards the bottom, well, really now for Burnley, it means that anything for Leeds, just a single point, and they will go above them. For Everton, they'd love to extend the gap and pick up a win later on today. Let's show you actually what's still to come today. So, the day's Burnley, and we've then got big games for Leeds up against Brighton. They kick off at 2 o'clock. And then Everton up against Brentford. That kicks off a little bit later today. And then Arsenal, also a big match in the context of these two clubs, tomorrow evening. Just to remind you, you can keep across all of the other action on B. It was a handball that left Burnley frustrated. A handball that left Harry Kane with one mission and one mission only. And that's now 21 penalties without missing. He bags another today. 3 more points, closer to the Champions League. See you in a couple of minutes. Back, right, all the reaction to come to a game that left two sides with very mixed emotions. As Spurs chased the top 4, they got the win that they desperately wanted, but Burnley now once again looking over their shoulders, wondering what Leeds are going to do later on today. And of course, while we're on it, if any goals are scored in that game, we'll let you know immediately. That man though, sure, Harry Kane's also very happy. By the way, what is our last game of the season, it does this to us.
Yeah, but we're hard, we don't have rollies or nothing.
No.
Don't need no protection on it.
Just for the record, neither of them requested rollies or moaned at me the fact they haven't got them for the last 5 minutes. Let's get some reaction. Harry Kane is talking to Des. Here he is.
Nail biter as well, wasn't it? But you got the 3 points. That was absolutely essential today.
Yeah, really tough game. You know, we knew it was going to be really hard against Burnley. Obviously, they're fighting for points down at the relegation, and it was a tough battle. It was about getting that breakthrough. Thankfully, it came at a really good time for us. But in the second half, I thought we played really well. You know, we had a couple more chances. Obviously, Sonny went close. Some good saves from Popey. But overall, really hard fought, and delighted with the 3 point
respects.
Yeah, I think it's a clear penalty. I think if you look at the penalties that's been given this season. But yeah, look, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Thankfully, we did today.
And postage stamp size, I think.
Yeah, it was similar. Obviously, I've practiced a lot with Popey, England again. So yeah, obviously he decided to stay down the middle, and thankfully it probably wasn't my cleanest strike, but found the bottom corner, which was nice.
So that was the time to actually build up a lead. Found it hard to get through.
Yeah, side well compact, tough to break down. We had a couple chances. I had a couple headers early on, just didn't go in. And but yeah, these games are tough. You know, Burnley are fighting for every point. We're obviously trying to get as close as we can to top 4. Obviously, we're there now. We'll wait and see what Arsenal do tomorrow. But yeah, these are tough battles, and delighted and proud of the boys for the second half of the season. So yeah, look, we've done our job today. The last couple of games, we've got to recover and see what happens. But there's still next week as well. It's all to play for.
Situation, I suppose, and you've been there where you get the win, you do your job, but it kind of totally depends now on how Arsenal do, doesn't it?
Well, listen, they've played themselves into this position. If they'd have taken care of business earlier in the season, they wouldn't have been relying on Arsenal's results. But it is what it is now, and they've got to sit and hope. But what they are doing is they're doing their job. Like you said, they're getting the points on the board now. They can sit back, put their feet up and watch Arsenal. Probably not put their feet up, but they'll watch them and hope that someone does something and does them a favour. But it's difficult end of the season. It's about pressure. I always talk about these times of the season, you want to play against teams that are already booking their holidays, already worried about where they're going to spend the next couple of weeks after the season finishes, because they're not as focused or they're not as intense normally as the ones that are fighting against relegation or fighting for a place in Europe.
It's interesting though, because there's a real energy here, isn't there? And who knows what happens at the end of this? But we've come to Tottenham a couple of times over the last couple of seasons, and it's just felt strange. This feels they can grab hold of this and keep hold of this. There could be some good times around the corner for this football club.
Yeah, I think it started on Thursday. You know, the North London derby was a huge game. And coming into today, we were worried before the game whether it would be a little bit flat because it's an early kick-off. The expectancy was there today. The expectancy wasn't there against Arsenal. The crowd were here. They were up for the game. They wanted their team to win. Here, the crowd came a little bit, okay, entertainers, we expect you to win today. And it was a tough game. You've got to give Burnley a lot of credit for what they did today.
Okay, well, let's have a look then at the penalty incident. I know it's
rules. As it is now in the modern day rules, the referee was in a position where he couldn't do anything else. What we think, it was a soft penalty. I wouldn't have given it. If it was against you, you'd be absolutely fuming. You wouldn't want that, as Burnley were, because you look at the work rate, you look at the effort that they've put into today, something like that costs them the game. It was, for want of a better phrase, a really soft penalty, but you can understand the referee was in a position where he just went, I've got to do by the rules.
Okay, well, in a moment, Antonio Conte will no doubt be out on the pitch to a roaring reception from these fans. They've stayed here because it's the last home game of the season for Tottenham. They'll make their way around for a lap of honour in a moment. Whether it's a lap of honour that means they're going to make it into the Champions League this season and it's appreciation for that, we still don't know, but they've certainly done all they could today, and Antonio Conte will be delighted with the result. Here he is with Des.
Very important victory. They tested your nerves though, didn't they, today?
Yeah, for sure. And Burnley, I think, was the perfect team to test our nerves, because they played a defensive game well organized. It wasn't easy to find the space, but at the end, I think we played a real good game. I don't know if 3 months ago to face this type of game at the end you can celebrate a win. I don't know. I think this team improved in many aspects, not only technically tactical aspect, but also in the mentality. Yeah. And this team is becoming strong in his mind. Also to understand that when there is the moment to defend long ball, second ball, to fight, I'm seeing a lot of improvement of my team, and I'm proud about this because in only 7 months, I think that we did a really good job with the players. But I have to thank to my players because from the first day they showed me great commitment, great attitude, great behavior in every situation.
Yeah, we saw that resilience, but you still needed that penalty to.
But the penalty was clear. First of all, okay, because I've seen that someone has complained about the penalty was 100%, and then we created other chances to improve the result. And in one end was good the keeper to make a good save. In other end, I think that in this situation we have to be more to have the killer instinct, because if you score the second goal and the game is not. No, and you don't face the last 50 minutes with a fear, no, to consider a draw, especially in this moment, because today for us only one result, 3 points, and we got 3 points. I want to thank again our fans, because they supported us from the start until the end. And now there is the last game, and not easy. We had to go to Norwich. They have relegated, already relegated, but you know very well that in England not easy game, and it's important to recover energy. We played only 2 days ago against Arsenal, before against Liverpool. Yeah, a lot of positive things about this team, about this player, these guys. Much.
Thanks, Dave. Very interesting line there about the mentality shift in his squad, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I think it's so important. We touched on it before the game. He just mentioned there 3 months ago he doesn't know whether this team would have got the victory today based on the way that Burnley set up and how awkward they were at times to play against. And so he's telling the board there, listen, with me it's a different kettle of fish here when I'm under this roof, and I feel that, and you feel the energy in this stadium. He gets the fans going. It went dead for a while in that second half. Yeah. He was there gyrating to the fans, getting them going, creating the atmosphere. You need that sometimes. He brings more than that. but there's a lot that he brings to this club, not just in terms of just the way he sets the teams up, but the emotion, the environment. He sets the standard for the culture. He's a fantastic. I think he's a fantastic coach with a great personality and character.
It's his man management, his attention to detail. There's nothing that goes amiss with him. And you see his passion, you see his energy, you see his enthusiasm, and if he's not seeing that from his players, he's not happy. And you look at what he wants to achieve. He's a winner. He's a born winner. You saw his interview in the reverse fixture against Burnley. You saw how upset he was so early on in his tenure. He wasn't happy. He was thinking about leaving because the players weren't doing what he wanted to do. He's a winner. He wants winners on the pitch.
Okay, well, it's another reminder today of the quality of head coach. He's got them the result they wanted today with plenty of help from his players. But what about Mike Jackson and his coaching staff? It's been so difficult for them to be thrown into a Burnley team scrapping against relegation. They've got some brilliant results. Today was a great performance as well.